All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely, lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made. I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Again, I come today, this evening, live with the title It's Time to Talk. And I'm going to cover a little here and a little there. If you have any questions or you have any answers, you can pull it up in the live chat and we can cover it. Mm, 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 mm. Having men's persons in admiration because advantage. Yes, Sister Deborah, again, just going over a few things. I'm winding up. I'm almost at my 1,000 mark videos here on YouTube. Again, I just thank the Father, Yah, for giving me an opportunity to be able to actually step out and speak on this platform. And I just really do. I really thank the Most High Yah for it because I think it's a blessing in itself, still yet uh, on His behalf, allowing me to have a leadway. Like I said, I have several things I could talk about and I could cover. Uh, First and foremost, around about now, Ireland is right now uh, in danger for a volcano. The powerful thing about it is they are having these earthquakes, and you see the ground have caved in, and many other areas are like earthquake. It's the volcanoes causes also earthquake around that area, and that's an Ireland, and they're waiting. They evacuated or whatever. They and everyone had to leave out because of the volcano that's heading their way. I think if I saw all those earthquakes and see the grounds given and sunk in, I think I would have. They wouldn't have had to. They would not have had to tell me to leave. I would have got out of there. And the volcano is really doing some work on that city, and they have been told that they had to evacuate until further notice. And I think about Revelation 8, and it kind of sets that pace. Revelation 8 speak of something of that source. Even the earthquake that's going to follow that, which is actually taking place. And it says it in Revelation chapter 8. And it's deep because as I was listening to the news cover it, these same thing that's in Revelation chapter 8 and verse 7, I'm like, Father, this matching that. And just listen to this. In Revelation chapter 8, verse 7, the first angel sound, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of trees were burnt up, and all green grass were burnt up. The second angel sound, verse 8, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. Verse 9, and the third of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. It sounds as if that's actually a volcano. You see what I'm saying? So verse 8, chapter 8 of Revelation is taking place as as I speak. I believe that's connected to the volcano. And they're telling you how so many people are going to be affected, because once it hit the water, what it's going to do, not just with the fish in the sea, but everything that's in the sea, and if it leads to other continents or other countries, the volcano is going to not just affect Ireland, but others outside of them. And I'm like, wow. So that's could be what Revelation 8 is speaking on. I think we're going to miss a lot of things because we pretty much caught up in a lot of things, and we're looking for things that we should not be looking for. And because of that, we're going to miss out of Revelation being fulfilled as we live here in the present time. Just like Revelation chapter 7, I like 7 because it letting you know that he sealed his. Because I'm like saying, okay, now Father, it's too much going on now. It's a lot of things going on. Who's who and what's what. And I like Revelation 7 because it leads me to understand that has already taken place. Because the angels that was in Revelation 7, he had charged them to hold back the wind, in which they was mission to let go, and he had them to hold it back until he is marked. So that wind came where all those people lost their lives during that hurricane in different countries. And you don't hear nothing else about it. It's like, how could you have 50 and 60 people die in one country, or in another country 40,000? A lot of people passing away, to where the United States is not giving any information regarding it. And when I say it, the reason why I say it like that is because if it's a prophecy, how will we know it? Only when the Spirit of the Most High Yah reveal it to us, show it to us. Because if you wait on the United States to give you some sort of insight of what's going on in the world, you can hang it up. You can hang it up. So I will say that Revelation is moving on, and that's a good thing, because as it continue, all of my father's prophecies is being fulfilled, and that's the good part about it. I'm gonna have to turn this heat off, and take this hat off. Yep. So if you you have any questions, you can pull up and we topic or something that's going on, we can talk about, being so it's time to talk. So, but I thank the Father for having everything already written to the point where you can study this and he will give you the revelation. I like that. I love that, and his word is going to be fulfilled the way it is created from the heaven, so that's a good thing. Oh, I feel, it was freezing in here and now it's getting hot. And I'm like saying, wait a minute now, is it me? No, I don't think it is. I think I was outside too. It was real, real cold. Uh, Playing with the dog and doing some things outside. And I got in here, still had my coat on, was running behind. What else can I say? Oh, I know what I was showing you all that I did not. Wait a minute. I don't know if you all, it's got to be here somewhere because I thought I saw that the 144 somewhere I saw that. Have you all, somewhere I saw where the 144 was said to be men. Did you all see that? The 144 was said to be men. And did you also see how every time the Most High said something, he did not include women and children? That's another eye opener. It wasn't that he did not include. Somewhere along the line, he that was smearing the instructions and direction book wiped a lot of things that has to do with women. So to keep them at a level where they're not really consider anything outside. It reminds me of slavery, how they think that we are less than animals or like unto an animal, So that's really Revelation 14. Okay. And the angels stood around about the throne and about the elders and the four beasts and fell before the throne on the face and worshiped Yah. All right. And the cry with the loud voice saying, salvation of our Yah, which sitteth on the throne and unto the Lamb, okay, which is his power. Y'all, let me tell y'all, you know what I was looking at? And you know what? Sister Deborah got some issues. I got some serious issues because, okay, we're going to see what was it we could cover in Revelation 14. It's like 20 verses. So, and I looked, and lo, the Lamb stood before Mount Zion, and with him 144. Okay, got you. I got you. 144,000 having his father's name written in their forehead. Okay. What I was looking for is where it was saying that it was men, like MEN. So is it saying it in 14? Is it still in 14? If you can give me the verse in Revelation 14 that speaks 14. That's what I have always been hearing. So that's why I'm wondering, is it somewhere in there that can pinpoint us to it? But that's what I heard too, but when I went to Revelation, it don't say that. And I'm trying to figure out where did they get it. Because I thought I saw it somewhere. But that is not true. It does not match Isaiah chapter 3 in verse 25 that talks about, okay, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. There are they which are not defiled with woman, for they are virgins. There are they which follow the Lamb wheresoever he go. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruit unto Yah and to the Lamb. See right there, the reason why I wanted, that's it. The reason why I wanted that one is because that connects also with how everything was made regarding the order, the power, the ruler, and the control for men. You see what I'm saying? So when I see this is what I was looking for. And this is where they're getting it from here. And every scripture, and I never gave that a thought. That when he fed the 5,000, it says not including women and children. Who would count a number without including all that you fed? You get what I'm saying? Let's take an example. Let's say an example. Like he had how many fishes and 4 loaves of bread, and was it 8 or 6 fish and 4 loaves of bread, something like that. If you really want to see the power in how it extended, it wouldn't just be to the men, it would be to the number in which it was fed. Do that make any sense? You see what I'm saying? Right there, you see the error. Because even if he fed, let's say if he fed 5,000, okay, not including women and children, what would be the purpose for the number of how many men if the number represent the miracle? When you say that the number would represent, so it was 3 fish and 5 loaves. Okay, thank you. 3 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Okay, now say the 3 fish and 5 loaves of bread fed, was it 5,000 men, not including women and children? What really was the purpose of speaking how many it fed when that was not actually the number fed? You see what I'm saying? That's like half cocked. That's like saying, I fed 10,000 or 15,000, even more, with 3 fish and 5 loaves. Both of them shows the miracle. So, but why was it cut off the miracle itself and how it fed men instead of the multitude? Do that make sense? So even looking at that kind of, the 3 fish could have been the bait. I don't get it. But it's the ideal of feeding. He had the 3 fish and the 5 loaves of bread. The miracle, even if he fed 100, that's still a miracle, right? Say for instance, even if he fed 200, that's still a miracle. So, but why was it excluding women and children and not giving the number? See, it's not why was it expounding on how many men it fed? outside of how many got fed. Do that make any sense? But do you get the point? Very good. But do you get the point I'm saying? It allows you to see in a lot of things that really don't make sense. And you said that's what these wicked men kept teaching, talking about it. It's not women and children. We know ain't no 144 men in Israel physical. You know that too. You know that. Even our forefathers have many wives. So you definitely know that. So you know why? Because you living. You in this day and you know you ain't gonna find that. That's not gonna be really here. But it just gives me, that is so true what you're saying. You're not gonna find that many of you might, no, okay, but you know what that number, say for instance, that 12,000 from the tribe of Judah, that 12,000 consists of the four corners and not the United States. Okay, I don't think none of this has anything to do with what was it, a virgin or defiled with a woman. Okay, these are they which follow the Lamb wheresoever he goeth. See, you can actually, by you being a living prophet, you can actually see that does not mount up to where we are at today. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't. It look like it doesn't. It doesn't mount up to what you would call. You know how he said knowledge shall increase. How can we increase knowledge in that? Or can we? Maybe you can pull up with something that makes some sense out of it. And just in hearing it, I was wanting to know that, because I was wondering, what is it so everything is just hung up on. And I think that this is the reason we can't unite. It's because if we're looking for them to unite, you see what's going on in the world. You get what I'm saying? You see, it's like you see what's going on in the world and how they can't come together. Let's say, for instance, they come together and they're having a barbecue. Okay? Most of them, when they come together and they want to have a barbecue, first thing you know they're going to have is drinking. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, we as a people seem like we can't even come together for a funeral in this day and time without someone shooting or wedding. Everything is now at a point, and I know the Father said it's lawlessness and fierce of judgment is upon the earth. But it's just like this here, as far as the 144, I would stick more close to it as not saying that it is only men, because when he keep telling me about what took place in Genesis, how when he had it perfectly in Genesis 1, he had it perfectly the way he wanted, and instantly they changed it. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think they just changed what the way he had it in Genesis. I think in the book itself has, but it's not the type of change where you tell people don't study the book. You get what I'm saying? We still have to study to show ourselves that we are a worthy to receive anything, because we are eager to want to know. So we study out of desiring to know truth. You see what I'm saying? Not so much as if it's right or if it's wrong, but I think that that's where spirit and truth come in, is when he say, okay, you really want to know the truth, don't you? You really want to know the truth. And I think he feel that. I think that's that part of us that he feels, I really do. Okay. So all of this you're saying is actually saying defiled with woman as to woman meaning a harlot. Okay. And the doctrine of the Roman, they have no guile in their mouth, meaning they're, well, where are they? That's another thing. But where are they? But yeah, I'm gonna have to read into that because that really something that I was thinking about just seeing. And then when I even did about the five, what is it, the three loaves and the five, what's that, three loaves and five fish or something like that? What was that? Yeah, five loaves, two fish and five loaves, uh, feeding only men, not including women and children. I don't think nothing the Father would do would exclude, nothing he would do unless he's separating the wicked and the evil and sin itself. But just saying, she is just, to me, it's just like saying, Adam, you was the only one that did wrong and Eve didn't. You know what I'm saying? Or Eve, you was the only one did wrong and Adam didn't. I just can't see him separating it to the point where one did it and the other one didn't. You see? I don't know. It's just real strange. Sound like something deceptive. Yeah, it does. It really does. Cause just reading it, it just don't sound. It don't. I don't know. It just doesn't make. And then you say to 7 and 4 and 17. Yeah, the 4 and 17 in Revelation. That's the one we started on. We started Revelation chapter 7, and that's where we started from the 12 tribes and the 12,000. But we were trying to understand because we have heard it in time past that this is only including men. Okay, so we had someone to pull it up on in Revelation. She pulled up in Revelation 14 and verse 4, stating that it is men that is being spoken of. So that's where we're at. You know why you want it? It's because you want to be able to, no matter where you go. Say, for instance, you go to the mall or you go to get your hair done or anywhere. You want to be able to be among people. And if it is needed, someone wants to know a spirit and truth. They wants to know about some light because I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's so many people hungry, so many people hungry for truth. And I don't care where you at. It is so serious to be ready, quick to speak when someone is really yearning for some truth. So I feel you when you saying I really want the truth of all things. You see, when no matter what situation you're in, whether it's family members, friends, neighborhood, community, because Sister Deborah, that's what she do. I don't care where I go, I'll be ready. I know you might say that's crazy, but I'll be ready. Why? Because I never know who the Most High gonna run up, gonna send my way. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're at your workplace, say for instance, you took some classes up for any type of program, or you went into the gym and anything, and somebody walk up, start talking to you, you can give them spirit and truth, some light that can shine in their life, something they've been wondering about or they asked about. So that's a good thing to want truth and to know you want it as much as he's willing to give you. Yeah, that's important. Yep. Ain't that's strange, doesn't it? That's strange when the miracles include all. And why would he make up the body of Hamashiach only males? Why would he do that? You see, that's why I say you can really, as time go on, you can kind of see that some things is not. You have to just bring it back to reality. I think we have to bring it back as far as we can back to the earth. Revelation 7 and 9. Yeah, we covered that. 7 and 9. And after this, I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne. That's showing you that shows all of our so-called, we the people, that we don't understand who's going to also be in the kingdom. The gates represents the 12 tribes in the tribe, like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, those that has the same spiritual seed as they had, they're the ones that's going to walk in the 12 gates. It is not for the whole house of Israel. Just like him sealing, these are those that he have handpicked from the heaven, not who we say or who we think is who Yah has already chosen. That's why Yeshua couldn't come down here telling people who's going to be who and who position it is. He tell them that is not on me. That is not mine. That's in the Father's hand. And that's what everything, if we go into things, go back to the Father. And it says, stood before the throne, and the Lamb clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. And I believe that in heavens there's nor he nor she. Do y'all get that? And I think, because I might be wrong, but y'all help me out here. When we say that it's about he and she, it's about he and not she. It's about everything is leaning to he. Then who's going to pay the penalty in heavens when she has to stand before judgment? Is it going to be he? You see, if it's always about he and never she, then when we stand before judgment, is there going to be a he and she? No. So if we're not going to be measured in heavens based on he and she, why is earth measuring us and separating us? I think that if and only if the anointed ones of the Most High Yah servants could unite with and not focus whether it's male nor female, I think that can be done. I really do. And look at it as the body of Hamashiach. We are all the body of Hamashiach. We got a power over us. And that's the head. You see, and stay at the level in which we are called. That means Sister Deborah can't go over to this level and tell this apostle no. She can't go at this level and tell this pastor no. She can't go over at this level and tell this bishop no. Why? Because they are called for a different purpose. Okay? Now, what if Sister Deborah has to run up on a prophet? You see? Then that's different. We are subject to one another. That's beautiful. That said, we are subject to one another. We don't have really supposed to have no reason why we can't come to one. Because we are subject to one another, said the Most High God. That means if Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Isaiah, if they were here, or no matter what, they are subject to prophets are subject to one another. Supposed to work hand in hand. So what happens? When we get in a situation and we see that there is an apostle, a bishop, a priest, who else? A pastor, okay? They still supposed to come to us to judge the matters. You get what I'm saying? They still want to come to us to say, well, what should we do before y'all? You get what I'm saying? But we're not supposed to go to them and tell them, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. But if they doing something that needs judging, stand in there. But we should come, not by one, but by twos, by threes, by fours, as unity, as prophets, standing before the priest, standing before the apostle, standing before the bishop, standing before the pastor. You get what I'm saying? As a unity. Same way with bishops. They are to be unified as bishops. But what happens is nobody wants to head. They don't have no problem with being in the body. I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. That's what happened when Paul went into the church. He saw everybody trying to claim their position. And that brought a lot of confusion to where he said, but women, keep quiet. When you go home, ask your husband what was going down. That's what he was saying, y'all. Go home and let your husband tell you what was going on with all this. But just keep out of it, because this mess is deep. That's what Paul was saying. It was a lot of confusion. Because one said I'm a apostle, one said I'm a prophet, one said I'm a prophet. You see, no one is subject. And when it's because you don't have the spiritual head, which is Hamashiach. You don't want him to head it. And that's why the unity can't come into unity. And I'm sitting here watching today, again, these people trying to get everybody together to get over to these here docks where all these ships are coming in. Oh, they said Russia is sending them in for us, y'all. They coming to pick us up. Did y'all hear that? They say they come to pick us up. And Russia is sending the ships to pick us up. And we got to send them money to get us a ticket to hold our spot. And they going to take us somewhere, but then they going to come back and get some more and take them. And as I'm listening to them, I took out a good 20 minutes listening to them. And I said, where's the order? Hello? I'm in a situation at this time. I have to call you back.
All righty. My name is Dawn. Give me a call from Title Max, ma'am, and it's important that we connect.
Thank you. Now, listen to this here. This is why you can't find unity. It's because no one wants to respect the head. You see? So what I'm saying, even if in Revelation is speaking of those men, you don't see that. We're living in this day. Where's that unity that says that these men right here, okay, what was that in Revelation 14? And it says in 14:4, these are they which were not defiled with woman, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whatsoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruit unto Yah, to the Lamb. Oh, I get it now. I get it. Like you said, it's spiritual. That's what that is. That's spiritual. That's what it is. Yeah, that's spiritual. Because it's talking about a word, they were already redeemed from among men, being the first fruit. Okay. So, okay. But I don't think that these are the 144 for some reason. I don't know. I have to read it. But yeah, it sounds as if it is. Like you said, it is. It might be. It most likely it is spiritual because just looking at it and just reading it, you have to go over into that spiritual realm, like you were saying, prophetess. We have to go over into that spiritual realm to really get that. You see what I'm saying? And I just got a little taste of it right here. When it says these were redeemed from among men. Okay, so being the first fruit unto Yah and to the Lamb. That means to Yah the Father and his power. Okay, the Son of Yah. That's who that Lamb is. That capital Lamb is the Son of Yah. That's not the Son of Man. That's the Son of Yah, which is the Father's right hand. Okay. And that's who wrote the Lamb Book of Life. His right hand. He wrote everybody's name in the Lamb Book of Life. The Father's right hand. Okay. But yeah, so that, yeah, I have to look at that on a different level. You're right. You are exactly right. That has to be spiritual. Redeemed from the earth. But then it says in verse 3, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the beast and the elders, and no man could learn the song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Which were redeemed from the earth. Then I looked, and lo, the Lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 having the Father's name written in them. So we know that's coming from Revelation chapter 7. And I heard a voice from heavens as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great. Oh, wait, let me explain something to you though. Let me tell you something. As Revelation speak it, okay. And I looked, and lo, the Lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144. So by Revelation 14, we'll be out of here already. Okay. Let me say the ones that are sealed, the 144, I will not give it to just men. I think it's a number, okay, that only rests in the bosom of the Father. And I will not say that it's males. I won't say it because I don't think that that's what it's saying, but I got to keep reading it. I can't say it for sure. I might have to come back and say that it is, but I got to read 14 to really grip that. Unless you got more information on Revelation 14. It do represent, it bumps off of Revelation chapter 7, 100, which still, if we bumping off of 7, we still leaving it up to only men. Then if it's only men, that means no women are going to go to the promised land. How about that? That's why you have to really think about what is actually taking place. You know, he's telling him to seal. He's telling his angels to seal them in their forehead. Okay. So, and I don't think that when you're dealing with Revelation, that women and children is just going to walk on in. You know, I just don't see that. Because when he talked about the dry bones, and he turned around and say it's a great army. And I think about the great army. If you go back, you can know that the great army was only David. Because every army that was fought by house of Israel was by Yah. He fought all the battles. And to bring up dry bones, and he said they come together like unto a great army. Now I can see that being men, because in David's battle, those were men. But when you get to here, Revelation 14 and Revelation 7, we would have to detach them to be only men. Can we do that? Let's see. What do you all? Okay, 14:1 let us know it's spiritual. Okay, let's see here. Having his father's name written in, having his father's name written in their forehead. Okay, John is saying he looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their forehead. Now, what I'm seeing here in Revelation chapter 14, it says, and I looked, and lo, the son of Yah, the power, stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 having the Father's name written in their forehead. He's talking about the promised land, that we are already there. So that's deep. We're already there at the promised land, because the seal came in Revelation 7. The seal came in Revelation 7. But even in 7, he allowed us to know that we still going to be present during some of the turmoil, because when we get to Revelation 9 and 10, 11, we're still present, because he's telling those things that came out of the bottomless pit only hurt those that have not the seal. So we were going to be there in the land of our captives when these plagues of Yah come forth. Somewhere here in 14, he's letting us know that in the promised land, and he's speaking to those who are already sealed. His name is written in their forehead. So in Revelation 14:1, it's just giving us an insight that, hey, y'all here, y'all made it. Y'all here, y'all in the promised land. Because listen, and I looked, and lo, I saw the Lamb stood on Mount Zion, which he also mentioned in, was that Ezekiel, in Isaiah, that's where he's going to be at, the Father. Okay, that's how he's going to clean us up when we get over there. That's how he's going to clean us up. And it stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144. Yeah, that's him bringing us in. He's about to cleanse us, I believe, during this time. Oh yes, we're about to get our filthy tails cleaned up. And so this is what I know now, just reading this alone in 14. This is speaking of those that are sealed in 7, letting you know you'd have made it over. You'd have made it to the promised land. Okay? And Yah is waiting there for you with that power to do what he's going to do next. And it's 144 to you all, and y'all got y'all name in your forehead. So that leads me to understand. Hey, let me tell you what that leads me to understand. I see why they talking about you better get to the doctor. Because if he's telling us in 14, that means I said we at 8. We got 9 to see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we in there already. So we got to be pulling out by 12, running into 13. I'm talking about the prophecies in chapter 12 and 13 of Revelation, to be able to already be there in 14. Wow. So I see what they are saying. We better pack what we got and be ready. But I wouldn't dare tell you all to be ready like they say. Be ready for y'all, not them. But see, the Bible doesn't, say it, mankind. The instructions and direction, if it was said like you're saying it, that's probably the original way. And you see, that's probably would have been the way that the Father had had planned it. But the way they took it now, they took out woman and children, and it's all men. And they had to do it that way because they messed in Genesis in the beginning. So they had to make sure that everything fall in line. So when you look at the world today, make sure you let the world know how it got like it is. Cause of who? You see, that's the key right there. But yeah, you're right. Well, when we say mankind, but you're not going to find in the instructions and direction placing mankind. You see, because they went in and they switched it to MEN instead of MAN. So you probably were right. That's the way it was. But when they got their hands on it, they just made it, changed it from MAN. That means men, women, children. But when they went to tampering with it, they put MAN. And the power that be, because remember, the false prophet and the Antichrist and the beast, they're going to be lovers of men. That means they're going to be homosexual. So women going to even be out of the picture during their time. You see what I'm saying? So, okay, so you're saying because you're saying Yahshua, uh, um, the lamb is spiritual. Okay. The lamb, yes, is spiritual, but he want us to bring it in a natural dominion. Why? Because we're now not in spirit. The 144 is at just reached Mount Olive, Mount Zion. And we are not spiritual, we flesh. But he finna work a spiritual miracle in us. So somewhat you're right. It is when you're speaking of the lamb, you could say that the lamb could be spiritual because he's about to work a spiritual miracle in us when he starts to clean us up. And that's when this is, and I think this is, and I kind of feel sad. I see what the Father say when he said, and I had pity on my name. I can see when it said, and Yah said he had pity on his name, because in Ezekiel chapter 36, it tells you 36 and 24, it says, for I will take you from among the heathens and gather you out of all the country and bring you unto your land. That's Zion, which is in Revelation 14 and verse 1. Now he's bringing you into the land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you. Now that's one heart right there, ain't it? A new heart also in verse 26, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. Watch this here. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh. Now see how he's speaking of flesh? When is he speaking of flesh? On Mount Zion. He's telling you now. Watch this here. I will put within you and I will take away your stony heart and put and out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. Okay, so when you speak of Revelation chapter 14 and verse 1, it could be spiritual because he's finna do a spiritual miracle among us, because he's finna do some surgery. Okay, and he's gonna put another spirit in us, and us another spiritual heart. But he also going to give us a new flesh heart. That's how we're going to be living all those thousands of years. So he's going to give us both a mission, a cleanup in our spirit and in our flesh. So when you're saying it's a spiritual thing because the lamb is spiritual, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I get that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, you mean you ain't heard about it? Let me tell you, they're talking about. I was just watching it. They come on, I think, twice a week, and they telling us to get ready and pack our things, just our backpack and things that we're going to need, and move closer to the port, where they didn't figure out already that Russia is the one going to bring the ships in for us. Okay, Russia already. Now this is what they're saying. Russia has already made those arrangements to bring the ships in for us. Okay, now when Russia come in for us, they're saying they bring in the ships, and the ships going to be docked. We need to start going in the direction toward the ships, moving our whole life. I ain't got no life. Our whole living closer to the port where the ships are going to dock from Russia, because that's what we are going to get in and go over. But Russia is going to have a hand in it. You see, and I'm gonna see if y'all can answer that. So yeah, that's what they're saying, and y'all should see. Y'all, let me see if I can pull it back up so I can give y'all the page so y'all can see it for yourself. Let me see if I can pull it up and give you the what they're talking about. And I'm not saying that this is something I would do. I wouldn't do that, because if I'm in here, no matter where I'm at, he gonna get me. So, but they're telling people that you're gonna be left if you don't come and go in the direction that they're going in, and you're gonna be left, just like they were telling everybody move to Africa. And if you didn't move to Africa, you're gonna be left, and this is gonna happen. But I would suggest no one to move without hearing from the Most High Yah. Like, they're talking about doing this, but I wouldn't move because they said no way, no way, no way. And there you can listen to them speak and tell that they have no spirit of truth and no light leading them. They're trusting in Russia. Now, I don't know, because I haven't gotten into it like that, how he's going to get us out of here. And really, honestly, I don't care. Just know that he will. Okay, that's what I'm more geared to. I'm looking for that page, and I haven't seen it in which they were talking about it. So I'm still looking for it so I can give it to you all. Oh, here it is, y'all. The disciple of Yah. Disciple of Yah. That's the name of it. The disciple of Yah. And they advertising the day of the return of the second Exodus preparation. And somewhere along the line, they got you sending money to book your room and all of that. You see, now anybody know when we hear that and you go on there and you see, and they're saying Russia is the one who's going to give us, send the ships. First and foremost, I don't think Russia is the kingpin of the, I think Arabian. I think they are the one that own all them ships. They lease them to the United States. Do any of you all know about that? Oh, yes, they are definitely included, but you would never hear it be taught and ministered or revealed. You know, those sort of things is not, and everything, like the sister was saying, she want to know all truth. We know we're not going to get the chance to know it all, because I give or take, I know about 20%, and I hold firm to just that 20, and let the Ruach teach me whatever he needs to teach me in the spirit realm. But uh, it's a lot of stuff that just never was taught, but it must be connected to Yah. Yeah. So you seem to think that uh I don't believe that it, prophetess, that Russia, China, and the other nation is coming to take Americans back to Russia in captivity. Wow. I had never heard of that one. I'll never follow those folks toward the party because the devil is lying. Yeah, uh-huh. They saying it costs. And you have to tell how many people coming with you. So, it's based on that too. So like, say for instance, you believe that this, or okay, I guess you'll come back. I think that I had to drop a video today on Facebook, and it covered Revelation chapter 18. When I get to Hosea, and then I hear Ezekiel, I hear Jeremiah. I love Ezekiel, how he's talking about how he's going to sum everything. What's strange to me about Russia is, and China is, we have to see the prophecy come to pass regarding them. They have a role, a big role. Praise the Most High Yah. Oh, here it is. So you believe that the ships are already docked? So how many believe that we're going out by ships? They said it. They tell you where they got the whole list. It's not gonna just dock. I think in one location, it's gonna be spread like around in that same location. It's called Disciples of Yah. Would you say we have to be delusional no, to state of mind to follow them? You mean you ain't gonna get, you ain't gonna get no ticket? So you believe that we will be leaving out on ships? You don't think we are going to by ships? Anybody else? But you all can check it out. It's just to me just something to kind of laugh at, and just, it's not something to take to heart, but just to see where the mindsets of your nation. That's what I say. And this one, would you say you ain't fooling with Russia? There you go. Now you're talking. Would you say now the Most High going to let you know? Why would he leave you when he going to talk about sealing you? But why would he leave you? You ain't getting no Russia ships either. Most High tell me to. You know what I be thinking? I be thinking they gonna get us over there and they gonna kill us somewhere or another on the ships. I'm just joking, but that's what I thought when I saw it. When I saw it the first time I saw it. But they be faithfully on here every week trying to get people, and people sending their money in. Maybe a plane. I don't know. You say you ain't fooling with Russia. What you say? Because I'm always looking crazy. Sometimes it's good to see Sister Deborah smile. I'm just listening to what you all are saying. And let me explain to you all about Russia. Russia wasn't one of the country that embraced the idea of slavery. They were not included. Okay, everybody else was, but Russia wasn't. And the thing about Russia, they play a big role in Revelation. They play a role in Ezekiel because he wants us to understand that he's going to have his day with Russia. Okay, you got to understand the beast. It's going to play a role in controlling other countries. And that's how they're going to come together to destroy the United States. But I love how the Father says that we're going to already be in the promised land. And Magog is going to already have united with others, which it was said China, but I'm just sticking with Magog. And he talks about how many of them from Magog that's going to find out that we are in the promised land and going to be confused with us being there. How do we get there? What are we doing there? As if they're going to try to take over. See, this is where you all, it's important that you read this. They're going to try to take over because they're going to see we are there. They're trying to figure out how we got there. So you see how it doesn't work in what they're saying. Russia is going to be the one that gives us the ships. You see? And how could that in Revelation and in Ezekiel talks about a time period with Magog. And see what Magog is Russia, and how big this army is that's going to see and find out where we were, where we're residing. They already then destroyed the United States. They trying to figure out how do we get to that promised land and what are we doing there on that land. So they're coming to take us out. The Father didn't tell. This is why I say it's kind of sad, and it's really sad, because I realize when he says stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient, let me tell you, I don't think the Father would have called it those names, but I believe that the names that he used is really close, because even just thinking about how he gonna defeat Magog, and he didn't left a record to us in these books, Ezekiel and Revelation, how his war with Magog is going to turn out and what we are going to do. What do you mean we? Okay. In Ezekiel chapter 36, 37, he was speaking to Ezekiel about the dry bones. And I tried to explain to you all in Ezekiel 36, he's telling them that he's going to also bring over to the promised land a multitude of men. Okay. Then in Ezekiel 37, he talks to right after 36, he's going to bring in a multitude of men, and then over to the promised land. But then he began to tell Ezekiel in the vision about these men. That's going to be a multitude that he's going to take over. And at the end of how they came together, he called them a great army. You see? So he's taking them to the promised land. Why? Anybody know? Why is it the Father is going to have an army over in the promised land? And it's not going to be like a fight that they're going to fight a battle, but the battle in which they're going to fight is not a battle of fighting, but I'm going to tell you what it is. Who knows what's going to happen? Okay. Yes, a perpetual hate. Yeah. No, they're not even saying we need passport. They're not even saying that. Now, what Russia is planning, Russia don't like the idea. Now, listen to this, you guys. Russia knows that you wasn't over in the promised land. Okay? Russia knows that. They see that that land has been fully restored to the point it said that it's like the Garden of Eden. So Russia knows that. Russia is trying to conquer the land, but because they see that we're on the land, they don't like that. So they're going to try to take over us and the land. Okay? So what is going on here? Anyone knows? Yes, it says that. It says something similar to that. You're right. The scripture says a great wrath is coming down. It says, woe to the inhabitant of the earth. It says that. You're right. And you said cause the men going to die in the USA Civil War. I can't grip that one. Cause the men are going to die in the United States Civil War. Oh, I got you. I see what you said. The army that's going over to the promised land, they are going to die. They are going to lose their lives, because that's what it says in Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. The Father said he's going to do that. So that is a reason, that's a good reason why he's taking this multitude of men to the point where he's willing to go amongst dry bones in the spiritual realm and show Ezekiel how he's going to restore them. And then he said to Ezekiel that this is a great army. Then he pulled up in that same chapter and says David is going to be there. You see, so I believe the dry bone represent a army, because David is the only one I know that had a great army. Israel and the tribe of Judah never had an army. David always had an army. He's the only one I know that had the great army. So Israel The Father fought Israel in the tribe of Judah battles all the time. And he spoke it. And he told us. So, but David fought and won the battle because the Father gave him victory, but he is the one that had the great army. So when a lot of our men is confused when they hear it says also in Ezekiel 36, when he talk about the dry bones, it's going to be a great army. He talks about, and David, he tells us that David's going to be there. So guess what's happening, y'all? Okay. We're up in the promised land and we living our bestest best living, y'all. Yes, we are. We got an army of men in the promised land. And I want to explain something to you all. When we get to this promised land, let me explain. There are going to be men there. And these men that's going to be there, they're going to be considered as holy. The women going to be considered holy too. But the men were that survived out of Ezekiel, not out of Isaiah 3:25, because the Father said, I'm going to destroy your men. And he said it in a way, no, he didn't say your, he said thy men, in a way that he's speaking to us women, because that's during the time he was purging us by fire. Okay, so when he was purging us, he told us he was going to destroy our men and our mighty men in the war. This is where they get this idea that it's going to be less men and more women to one man. They didn't understand what was going on. When the women says, let us be called by thy name, they were talking about the name that the Father sealed on the men that they did see that survived. Because see the men that did survive, they know already these men are special men. These men are holy. And then the Father began to deal with them and letting them know that, and you shall be holy. But this is why they wanted that name. It was the name holy that the women wanted. It wasn't a man. It was holy to take away their reapproach. They were actually saying, I ain't in need. I do anything. Just let me get that name. They were talking about holy. Because they knew that all the men were, the Father had destroyed them. Okay? And they was like, well, wait a minute. Hold up. Here goes some men. Here these men, very few, but these are less. But they were saying, whatever you did to survive, because y'all charged the women, I'm going to take thy men. He tell us that. So he ain't lying about what he said. So when they did see a man, they just saying that whatever you are, you would have to stand for the Most High Yah. He allowed you to live. They found out through the spiritual realm that this men that did survive were holy. So they wanted that name, holy. Why? Because Yah was purging them during that same time. So what happens? Watch this here. He pulls up the dry bones and put them all together and took the army also over to the promised land. But when we get over, before the army was even there and were brought over there, the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah on the four corners, which are inside of Israel, inside of Judah, he's bringing them out and taking them over. Okay? The dry bones of the army of David, they're going over. And there's a reason why. The reason why the dry bones are coming up and it's an army. The Father got to work for them. A mighty work. Because when he's taking them over, he needs them to work. On what? When Magog come after Israel, on their promised land, floating with milk and honey, like the Garden of Eden. They jealous. They envy. Talk about what y'all doing up there. Wait a minute. Let's go conquer that land they own and destroy them. And it tells you that Magog is going to form this big army. So what I know is, I believe it's just going to be Magog, but they're going to then form this huge army. And they coming on the battlefield. Where's the battlefield? Israel promised land is up further, far off. The battlefield is far out. They're going to be coming up to the battlefield, and the Father going to destroy them right there on the battlefield. Now watch what the dry bones is going to do. When he destroyed them, when the Father destroyed them, he's going to leave some to report what took place back to Russia. He ain't going to kill them all. But because it's so many of them, you're going to have millions of them on the battlefield dead. Not wounded, not hurt, not bleeding, not head injury, leg blown off, not arm blown off, dead. So bring my army of dry bones down. The army of the dry bones is coming from the promised land to collect the dead and bury them and take all of their weapons, burn them up, bury them. They're going to be burying for not years, a long time. That's why we need that army, that great army of those dry bones. They got a job prepared for them, and they're not even there yet. How about that? How about that? Those dry bones got a job on their hand, because they got to collect everything that was in the pockets of the men, the guns, everything. Then they have to bury them. That's the purpose of the dry bones. He know what he doing. He know what he doing. See, because those that he's taking up to the promised land, that's where the 7 women to 1 man, that's showing you it's not very many of us getting out of here like y'all think. It's still a small remnant. But he pulling up them dry bones to be the army that's going to clean up Magog. Now he's going to say, for instance, if Magog stepped out in 10 million, he's going to destroy at least probably 8 million. I'm just shooting out to y'all. He's going to destroy a lot of them, but he's going to leave some alive. Go back to the book. It tells you that. So that they can go back and report what the Most High did. So they won't come back up. And they ain't gonna ever try it again. But y'all gonna kill them. Bam! See, y'all don't even understand the power of my Father. He's not afraid of China and Russia and Iraq and United States and British and France and German. Who y'all think y'all talking to? He's going, and then what's going to happen? He tells y'all that Magog gonna get envy because the house of Israel is at the mountain and all got that land that Yah has charged to get up. Trees, plants, fruit trees, mountains. Oh, get it right. Get it right. The Father's going to have it so up there, it is said it's going to be like the Garden of Eden. And Russia and them going to be like, wait a minute, hold up. How did they get from here to there? Hold up. What are they doing on that land? Let's go conquer it and bring them back into captivity and destroy them. Tell you what, they're going to come and do it. They're going to come out there thinking, and they all going to be on the battlefield to come up to take us out. Y'all gonna say, I ain't gonna give you a time. He said he gonna let them know, I'm not gonna give you a blink of an eye to think that you gonna do it. Bam! That's it. That's it. It's over. And I want people to understand, stop thinking you know this creator the way you think you know him. Stop trying to put him in a category of the flesh of a man. Let me show you another thing. At the end, he tells an angel, hey, here, take that key. Go release Satan out of the pit. He got another job. His end game needs to pull up. I got to get him. He tells Satan says, well, what do you want me to do? I want you to go and deceive the whole world that's left. Tell him, come on here. Let's go to the battlefield. Satan go deceive them and tell them, come go to the battlefield. Do you know the whole world come together to fight on the battlefield? Once they all come to the battlefield, guess what? The Father says, Satan, you come here. It's time for you to go to the lake of hell. Your job is done. And he just go on. He only came up after being chained for 1,000 years. The Father said, angel, go down there and unloose him. I need him to come back just to deceive the world so I can end this bad boy. I told them the next time I come, it ain't going to be by water. It's going to be by fire. Bring y'all bad tails on back up in this here. Now the battlefield is cleared. You remember for a year book, read in your instruction book and watch it, hear it, and then let the Ruach break it all the way down. Now, after they clean them up and everything, now these are hundreds and hundreds of years later. He's ready to end the world. Hey, go down to the bottomless pit. Hey, bring him back up. Unchain him. Now I need Satan go straight to the throne of the Most High Yah. What you want me to do? Go over to all the world. Bring them all into one. Come here. Bring them all to me. Satan go and deceive them. Read Revelation. Verse 20. Is it in 20? I think it's in 20. Satan go tell them, y'all need to come to the battlefield. They got them people up there. They doing this, and y'all need to conquer them. They got this, y'all need to fight. Let me go here. Let me just go with a rebel. Let me just tell you what it says. Okay. Revelation chapter 20. Okay. Verse 6. No, is it verse 6? No, verse 7. And when the 1,000 years, Revelation chapter verse 7, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. He's coming out, y'all. Watch this here. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. Y'all see what it says? Who is it that he's going to deceive? Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, pressed the camp of the saints about. That's where we are at. And the beloved city, that's the promised land. And fire came down from Yah out of heaven and devoured them all. Somebody tell me, what war was that? Why is this world telling people that flesh is going to war with my Father? Who wants to war with the Creator? Who wants to war? Even Satan would tell y'all, who wants to war with the Most High God? Satan will tell you that. And I can't get it in my skull to believe what would make people train and teach people that somebody going to war with my Father. Please. Let's read it again. Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of the prison. He's going to be loose. To do what? Watch this here. And shall go out to deceive the nations. He's been sent by the Most High Yah out of the pit to go into the nation to do what? Which is are in the four corners of the earth. That means the world finna end, y'all. Ain't nobody gonna be warring with my Father. Don't be stupid and don't let nobody teach y'all that. How you gonna war with the one that created you? Do that make sense? Now here we go. God and Magog to gather them together to battle. That's what Satan went to tell them, to deceive them, to tell them to come on the four corners. He got the whole four corners. Magog. Don't forget, we're going to go back to Magog again before this one here in Ezekiel, where Magog got tore up once before. But see, Magog is Russia. And that shows you who's going to be the fight, the power. Russia. Why? Because they're going to conquer all the countries after the United States go down. You get it? They're going to be the top dog. As throughout your life, it's always been Russia and the United States. China didn't even stand a chance. It was always Russia and the United States. Well, okay, here we go. Verse 8, Revelation chapter 20, verse 8. And it says, God and Magog to gather them together to battle. The number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Verse 9. And they went up to the breadth. I like that because that's the battlefield next to where we're going to be. They went up to the breadth of the earth and compressed the camps of the saints about. And the beloved city. And the fire came down from who? Not Yeshua. From who? Yah. Out of heaven. And it devoured them. It devoured them. It killed them. Now watch this, verse 10. And the devil which deceived them, see, that was his only purpose, was to come out just in time to deceive them so he can go back to the lake of fire now and live eternal in the lake of fire. Now listen, verse 10, Revelation chapter 20 and verse 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstones, where the beast and the false prophets are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So it looks like the beast is already going to lose its life. But Magog is going to be the capital of the world. Because the beast lost his life already, as it seems. He's already down there. He's saying the devil is going to join the beast and the false prophet. And shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So it leads me to understand that they were assigned to the lake of fire. They ain't got no problem. You don't see them up here trying to force fight and war with y'all. So what in the rats behind do y'all think the flesh of man need to be warring against the Most High Yah? You don't see Satan, the beast, and the false prophet trying to war against the Father. So who in the rats behind is telling people Armageddon and all this stuff about somebody warring with the Father? Baby, you can't war with the one that creates you. When all he has to do is, and you gone. Do that make any sense? What I'm saying to you all, it needs to be just put back in the power in which it come from. When you understand the power of Yah, it's not like the power of man, nor the strength of man. We are so framed to believe that. Now, in Ezekiel, now watch this here. Let me show you something. In Ezekiel 36, or no, 38, I think it is. Let me go there. So the power punch, y'all, when they get to saying that the Russia is going to bring in ships for us, but if Russia going to bring in ships, why are they so stupid? Gonna give us ships to go to the promised land, but then when we get over there, they don't know who we are up in there. Let's go there. Ezekiel 30. Oh man, I don't think I have it marked, but let me see. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna try it. Mashisha and Tuba. Ezekiel 38. In Ezekiel 38, the word of Yah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief priests of Mesha and Tuba, and prophesied against them. You see? This is what is being said in Ezekiel. Okay? And this is what he said in verse 2. And say, thou said, Yah, behold, I am against thee, O God, and chief priests of Mesha and Tybo. Verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put a hook into thy jaw, and will bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses, horsemen, all thy clothes, with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields of all of them handling swords. Now, here is where he's going to also war with Magog. Magog, let me see, where is it? We in Ezekiel. Is it in Revelation? But no, this can't be. Okay, here go Magog again. Okay, here we go. I think this is it. Okay, no, it's in Ezekiel 38 and verse. Let's try 16. No, let's try 15. And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon their horses, a great company of mighty army. And thou shalt come up against my people. Here go Magog. They finna pull up because now they recognize we're up. This is the one where they recognize we're up there. And they said, wait a minute, how did they get there? Let's see what it says. In verse, let's go back to 16. That's Ezekiel 30, verse 16. And thou shalt come up against my people Israel as a cloud covered a land. Y'all, that's deep. That's deep. You know what that's saying? You know how a cloud can cover a land? That's a lot of people. And this is how Magog is coming after us in the land. Now watch this here. And I will bring thee against the land. No, I got to go back to 16. And thou shalt come up against my people Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land. I hear you, Father. No, notice what it's saying. And it says here, and I will bring thee against the land, my land, the Father is speaking, that the heathens may know me when I shall be sanctified in thee, O God, before their eyes. Here, verse 17. Thus said Yah, or thy he of whom I have spoken in old times by my servants, the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee again against them. Watch this here, verse 18. And it shall come to pass at that same time when God shall come against the land of Israel. Watch this here. Said Yah, that my fierce shall come up in my face. My fierce. That means because here it is, he done brought us to the promised land. They coming up like they mighty army, and they finna come up, to try to destroy us in the promised land. And he's letting them know it's time for me to rumble. Y'all, come on here. Bring y'all tails on down here. So this is the Father showing you that he's going to battle on your behalf. Now watch this here. Verse 19. And in my jealousy and in my fire of my wrath, I spoke. Have I spoke. Surely in that day, there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. Verse 20, so that the fishes of the seas and the fowls of the heavens and the beasts of the fields and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are on the face of the earth shall shake at my presence. And mountains shall be thrown down. And the sleep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I will call for my sword against him throughout all the mountains, said Yah. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. Verse 22, and I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood. And I will rain upon him and upon his band and upon many people that are with him, and overflow rain, hailstorm of fire, brimstone. May God, why are we sitting here talking about somebody's going to somewhere to fight God? Stop that stupid stuff. You can't fight the one that creates you. Like flesh, like our children try to fight the parents. Mine's never don't do that with me, but I'm just still saying. Like the children nowadays trying to fight the parents. You can't do that with the Creator. So here it is. It says he's telling you what he's going to do. Now, verse 23 said, thy will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am Yah. Here we go. Ezekiel 39. Therefore, thy son of man prophesied against God, and say, thou said the Most High, behold, I am against thee, O God, and chief priests of Mesha and Tybal. Watch verse 2. And I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee. He only going to leave 6 part of them alive. Will cause thee to come up. No, 6 part women. I will turn thee back and leave but 6 part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. Come on here. Y'all bad. Come on. You want to do something? You know they here. You want a war? Come on up. So he's beckoning them to come on up here so I can tear your tails up. Now watch this here. In verse 3. We in Ezekiel 39 and verse 3. And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thy arrows to fall out of thy right hand. Verse 4, thou shalt fall upon the mountain of Israel, thou and all thy bands, and the people that with thee, I will give thee unto the ravish birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. Now watch this here. Thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have spoken it, said the Most High Yah. So when he said he has spoken it, what he's saying is that's all there is to it. It's gonna be done. So do you think that Russia and them ain't read this here book? Don't be no fool, y'all. Don't be no fool and think these people don't know nothing about this word. Don't be no fool, because they know. Okay, now watch this here. Verse 6. And I will send a fire on God, Magog, and among them that dwell careless in the isles, and they shall know that I am Yah. So when I make my holy name known in the midst of my people, Israel, I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I am Yah, the Holy One of Israel. Now, as you keep reading Ezekiel 39, and you'll see where the house of Israel has to go down and clean up everything, y'all. The birds and the fowls are going to eat and get full. Okay, but you remember that army, those dry bones, they're going down to clean up the leftovers and to get the guns and everything. It's in Ezekiel 39. So read again Ezekiel 38 and 39. That's another war with Magog. But here in this war, you also see those that are with Magog, which other country might be China. They're going to come with them against us. But it's going to be Yah bringing them against us. But they're going to want to come out here like they big dogs, and he's going to kill them again. Where? On the battlefield. Where's the battlefield going to be? Right over there by the land of Israel, where he brought us, the promised land. But it's going to be down below, like a battlefield, and he's going to destroy them. And then after whatever that's going on, it's a certain amount of time period. It's all broke down. And I think, yeah, it said 7 years. How about that, y'all? Do y'all understand what 7 years is? He said 7 years is they gonna be burning fire for 7 years, getting rid of those corpses. 7 years. Who gonna be doing that? Remember that army that he took over to Israel? Those dry bones? They're gonna be the one. They're gonna be the one cleaning out the battlefield. And it says they're gonna be taking the swords, the spears, the hand chafers, the arrows, the shields, the weapons. They're going to be taking all that and burning it. Okay? So just if you read that, you'll see that this is Magog, where we call him Russia. That's going to be the one to give us the ships. But then, if they're going to be the one to give us the ships, why is it's being spoke of them coming to attack us twice? I don't get it. Why are they coming after us twice? I know everything is the will of the Father. I do know that. I know that without a doubt, but I'm just still saying. But yeah, if you read that Ezekiel 39, 38 and 39, that's Magog there. Now, when you finish with Magog there, it's going to be Magog again at the end. That's how he's going to end the world in Revelation chapter 20. And he needs Satan to help him. Oh, yes, he needs Satan to help him. Why? You know why he needs Satan to come up out of there to deceive them? They already got their tails towed once. So you think they're going to go to that same battlefield where Yah didn't destroy them on? You think they're going to go there again? No, they not. So he had to bring Satan up out of the pit. Now go deceive them so they can all bring their tails to the battlefield so I can end all this. How about that? How about that? That's the way we need to see the Father. We don't need to see him our way. We need to see him the way that he is, the way that he was, and the way that he shall be. But wait a minute, Deborah, what do you mean the way that he was? Because if Moses, Aaron, and everybody back in the days, they would tell you how he threw down. And we sit our dumb tails now, don't know nothing about him and how his right hand rumbles. We want to make him a wimp. We want to make him like the flesh of a man. Instead of putting him where he is at, whether you put him there or not, he's going to be who he is. So I think we as individuals are messed up from the floor, because we don't really know what we battling with. So a lot of times we are all really confused. But I will say this: those that are going to be left in the United States of America, I'm gonna tell you, America it is already told us in the instructions and direction book that the Arabians are going to try to park their butt on this land, and they're not going to be able to survive. They're going to try it, and they ain't going to be able to survive. Because once he destroyed the United States, y'all, that's it. And I did a video today regarding that on Facebook, and I just knew Facebook wasn't going to let me upload that bad boy. But when it said it was uploaded, I said, no, they didn't. No, they must didn't see it. Because I got so deep into that message, letting them know that Babylon, this United States, y'all, it's out. My ex-husband said to me, do you know how many years? My son is 28. So it had to be before he was born. No, it was right during that time. So about 29 years, I remember. And I thought I was just drilling it. And I know I shouldn't have drilled it like I did. But I was drilling it into my husband's head. I don't see the United States. They're going to have to get nuked or bumped off. They can't survive. They can't stay here. They're not in here. I kept saying that over and over and over, not knowing that it was Babylon. But yet I already knew that they was going to be destroyed, whoever they were. I don't know how I knew. And now he tell me, but didn't you say that? He said, don't you know how many years that was when you said it? You wore me out with that. He knows it. I wore his butt out with it because I saw it long time ago. United States is not going to exist, you guys. They're not going to stand. So that's why I says it's really, and it is, it's kind of sad because we're in that hour. And like, I'm going to tell you something, when we were talking about Revelation 14, that made me feel really good because it makes me realize that in 14, Mount Zion, we're there. That means if we're right now standing in 8 and 9, wait a minute. Hey, y'all better get up. Y'all better get ready because that's it. Because if I never thought to go into Revelation 14, I go where he leads me. And just me going into Revelation 14 and see that it's showing that we are already there. I'm like, 14? Oh, wow. So we're not going to be here when Babylon falls. That makes sense because the next 4 verses talks about 17 and 18 talks about how they're about to bring Babylon down to its debris. I'm living today and I can see Babylon already falling. To me, they already fallen because of everything that I've seen since the year 2004. I saw it. People don't understand when a country come in and take everybody's houses, talking about foreclosure, and nobody says nothing. To me, mentally, something wrong with that. How y'all taking people's houses? How is all this, everybody in this country letting them take their houses like that? Who's calling this shot? And then when I saw, the day, which was 9/11, I saw Bush sitting in a classroom with these kids and all that chaos, the Twin Tower, and the look on his face, the spirit told me, see, he knew it all the way, all the time, Deborah. I said, I see it. Saw it all on his face. His face was saying, oh, they finally did it. It's done. That's why he was with, I think it was like a preschool or elementary, but it was a preschool, like kindergartens or preschool children. He's there reading a book with them. The president of the United States, with the less of the less, the innocent of the innocent. He's found him. right there, the day of 9/11. Look, the look on his face. Oh, they finally did it. They did it. They done done it. He knew it. This country did that. Their own country set it up. Just like that bio that they put out, and the other one that they got you. It's gone. It's gone, y'all. Only thing left is what Yah is going to do with the plagues he's pulling out. And there are a lot of them. And believe it or not, that bio, just that thing that they got everybody, all of that is a part of the plagues. See, we're thinking that man has to probably do this and do this and do this. Oh, no, no, no. It's still in line with the prophecies in Revelation. It's still lining up right in there. So I, Sister Deborah, hope that you did. You received something very soon. Yes, soon and very soon. We are going to meet the King. That's an old one, ain't it? Soon and very soon. We are going to meet the King. Oh, he got a movie? That's another thing I'm trying to explain to people. A lot of them don't understand. These movies were set here for us. It's what you call keeping the light on. The Father had already charged all this wicked and evil in this world and Satan. Whatever you do, you make sure you keep the light on for mine. Even though a lot of his got their eyes closed, not wanting to see exactly what is before them. You said you would have to be out of your mind to trust him. So, yeah. Any other questions before we call it a evening? So, the good thing about the wars, I can see why he said that we're not supposed to be caught up in wars and rumors of wars. He said that's not it. He dropped down to verse 7, said nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. That's the sorrow. So the wars and rumors of wars is because you see the two wars of Magog coming after us. That's going to be fought by the mighty right hand and the power of the Creator himself. It's just that, boy, just imagine how all those men going to have to come down and clean up all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? Read it. It's in 39, Ezekiel 39. And that's a separate time. That's not the same time for when he's doing it for the, when he's going to end it, when he have Satan come up for the 1,000 years and he's going to send him. The reason, why do Satan got to come up out of the pit of hell to deceive them? Because they ain't finna step on that turf again. Magog and said, we ain't finna go there again. And after the Most High God destroyed us, we ain't finna go out there again. So what happened? He needs the deceiver to come out to deceive the whole world, to come to the battlefield so I can tear their tails up. And he told us, next time, it ain't going to be by water. It's going to be by fire. And see, a lot of people would think that the fire is the lake of hell. No, he's telling you what he's going to do on earth. I'm not going to flood the earth. I'm going to kill them by fire. So both times with Magog was done by fire. And even the end in Revelation 20, he killed them all by fire. Just like he said that he would. He about what he said what he's about. We just offline. We just don't know where we're going or if we're coming. We off balance, not him. So I, Sister Deborah, would say I appreciate each and every last one of you all. What? It's coming out this month, the movie. Okay. And and honestly, you all, it's amazing how the Father uses any and everything to see his will come through. Look how he pulled Satan out of the pit for after being down there 1,000 years. Satan has to go to the throne and ask him, what? Go and deceive the whole world so they can get there and tell him, how did he wanted him to deceive the whole world? Couldn't he have deceived them to do anything and everything? Yes, he could have. But what you can tell, he got the order from Yah. Bring they bad butts to the battlefield so I can destroy them. And when you deceive them and they end up coming to the battlefield, come on, take your tail on down here where you belong for eternal with the beast and the false prophet, as if they were already there. So that leads me to understand Magi is going to be the last one standing. And not just, I don't think it's just going to be their army, but it's going to be the whole world. And those that have detached themselves to us in the promised land, guess what? Those people don't understand. After the war and destroying Magi and the whole world with the fire, when the fire, and it tells you, the Bible tells you strictly it's going to be, and they gone. What's happening now? Those that are left, Yeshua is going to get and collect all and separate the goats from the sheep. You know what's deep about that? Why do he have to separate if they're in the promised land? Yeah, I ain't finished with you yet. You ain't getting away with it. See, that shows you how thick that grace and mercy was, that it brought you all the way to the promised land and gave you all kind of goodies. All of those around the world who didn't come up to Israel on the Sabbath or to come together with us to worship Yah, all over the world, they're going to be believing. They're going to be coming up. They're going to be worshiping. But when Yeshua go get them all on the four corners, at that moment, his angels is coming with him. And they're going to collect all the goats and the sheep and bring them to his throne, his glory. And he's going to separate them to where they're going to be going. And then they still will go before the throne to get the okay by Yah. This is where you go. You see? So that's how it's going to pan out. That's how it is. And the thing about it is, that's how I can read this here and understand what the Spirit gives me. And that which the Spirit don't give me, I really don't know. But that which it gives me, I just go on what is leading me. And just leave it there and not battle and fuss and wrestle with what he's trying to get me to understand. I just, okay, you saying this, yeah. I might say, look like, hey, that's crazy. That don't make no sense, but I just go along with it and let everything flow according to his will. So I, Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every one of you all. Yes, stay strong. And I will be back. Shalom and shalom.